Guys, welcome back to another Bookcases YouTube video. Today we got our way too early 2023 first round fantasy football mock draft. The Super Bowl hasn't even happened. It's going to be Chiefs against the Eagles. Should be a great game, but again, never too early to start talking about fantasy football.
We'll hop right into it. Our pick 101 for next season is going to be Justin Jefferson. At pick 101, we're going to want a safe option. If you look at the past 4 years, every first overall pick, every at least consensus first overall pick, absolutely busted. Last year, we had Jonathan Taylor. He was majorly disappointed. The year before that, who was it? CMC, injury riddled. The year before that, Saquon Barkley, injury riddled. And the year before that, Le'Veon Bell, he barely even played. I don't even think he actually played the whole season. This year, we're going with someone safe. Justin Jefferson, last year, finished as a wide receiver 1 overall in PPR and in standard. He was absolutely amazing. Kevin O'Connell, great coach. Kirk Cousins should be back, should be in that same situation. He might not have the highest upside, but he is super safe. We love Jefferson at pick 1.
At pick number 2, we got Christian McCaffrey. He got traded midseason and was still absolutely incredible. I think for the Niners, he only had 2 games under 16 fantasy points. That is absolutely insane. The one thing kind of concerning, though, is the Niners quarterback situation. Brock Purdy might be out for the entire next season. Trey Lance, don't really know what's up with him. Are they going to bring in a veteran? Ride with Trey Lance? We actually have no idea. Tons of stuff to happen with the Niners this offseason. But again, Kyle Shanahan always has amazing offenses. His running backs are always amazing. And CMC, one of the elite backs in the NFL. Tons of fantasy upside. Again, super risky with the injuries, but love the upside here.
And our pick number 3 is Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce was amazing this past season. You can argue he should have even went at pick 101. He was absolutely beasting. The definition of a positional advantage. He had like 6 more points per game than the tight end 2. Had like double the points as the tight end 12 or something like that. Absolutely crazy season. One thing a little concerning, he is getting up there in age. He's like 34, 35 next season, but still got Patty Mahomes, still will get tons of targets, still will be an absolute beast, but just maybe drops a little bit. Still an elite player though.
At pick number 4, we got Austin Eckler. He was amazing last season, like all these guys were. He was the number 1 overall running back last year, number 2 running back the year before. He has been on a crazy run. PPR upside is through the roof. Tons of targets, tons of receptions, and tons of touchdowns. The reason he drops just a little bit, though, is there is a chance because this draft class and free agency is so loaded at running back, the Chargers could bring in competition, and Eckler doesn't always play tons of snaps regardless. Plays around 2/3, so not workhorse numbers. Again, if they bring in another running back in free agency or draft to compete with him, could lower him down a little bit, but Austin Eckler still is amazing for fantasy football.
At our pick number 5, we're going Cooper Kupp. Before the injury, Cooper Kupp was on pace to be the wide receiver 1 overall once again. He was averaging like over 24 points per game. Then Cooper Kupp got injured. Then Stafford got injured. Then Allen Robinson got injured. This whole offense just went to dust. They were terrible this past season. But next year, if Cooper Kupp can stay healthy, if Stafford comes back to that 2 year ago form when he won the Super Bowl, can be at least healthy, Cooper Kupp still has elite upside, still showed he can produce very high numbers. We still like him in the early first.
At number 6, this one stirred up a ton of controversy when we posted it on TikTok, but we got Bijan Robinson. Yes, he isn't in the NFL yet. We don't know what team he's on, but he still should be a first round pick, and assuming he doesn't go to a horrible situation like, say, the Browns or the Titans with already established running backs like Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry, if he goes to a good situation where they don't have a clear number 1 running back, he should step in, be that clear workhorse back. He has all the skills to do so. Great pass catcher, obviously a great runner. He has elite upside. If he goes to a good team in, like, say, the middle or back end of the first, he'll get tons of usage, and he will be amazing year 1 for fantasy.
At pick number 7, we got Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley in this new Brian Daboll offense, he finally stayed healthy. At least he had minor injuries, but nothing major, and he finally had a really good fantasy year since his rookie season. He balled out this season. I think it was the RB4 or 5. I think it was RB4. He played really, really well. Again, hopefully the Giants should bring him back. He is a free agent. He should be coming back. Daniel Jones should be coming back. Obviously, Brian Daboll is still going to be the coach of the Giants. Played super well last season. We expect nothing to change as long as he can stay healthy.
At number 8, we got Jamar Chase. Wasn't as good last year as the year before because he had that unfortunate injury. Missed a good chunk of games in the middle of the season. But again, when he is healthy and on the field, he is absolutely incredible, both in real life and for fantasy football. Plus, not saying it's going to happen, but there are rumors T. Higgins might get traded. If T. Higgins does get traded, Jamar Chase, he's already the number 1 for the team, but he will be the clear number 1, which should boost him up even more, maybe even go a bit higher in these rankings. Again, not saying T. Higgins is going to get traded, but if he does, Jamar Chase goes up even higher, has that elite connection with Joe Burrow, and has sky-high fantasy upside.
Our pick number 9 is Stefon Diggs. He was the wide receiver 1 for a good chunk of the first half of the season, but then he fell off a cliff massively. Has some disappointing weeks in the fantasy playoffs. absolutely did terrible against the Bears, had some other bad games late in the season. In the playoffs, didn't do anything too amazing. There was even that controversy with him yelling at Josh Allen when they were losing to the Bengals. There's like a 99% chance everything is going to be okay next year. Diggs still has an elite connection with Josh. They're still going to be making that playoff run. They're still going to be making that Super Bowl run. They're still going to be have to winning games. Diggs that clear wide receiver 1 for the Bills, and we're still taking him in the first.
At pick number 10, we got Tyreek Hill. He was on an insane pace to start the season. I think at one point he was on pace to break the receiving yards record. Him and Tua had that great connection. First year in Miami, he was awesome. Number 2 wide receiver overall, and that was with Tua missing a good chunk of games with a concussion. That is a bit of a concern next season if Tua is going to play. I think he should play. I think he's going to play. But again, the concussions are a concern if he's going to miss time next season. If he does miss time, obviously Tyreek goes down a little bit, but he was still solid without Tua. Again, assuming Tua is fully healthy, fully good to go next year, love Tyreek as a first-round pick.
And at pick number 11, this guy is very up in the air. It's Davante Adams. This past season, he was amazing. Had multiple 27-plus point performances. He had a 5-game stretch, which was one of the greatest wide receiver stretches in NFL history. Absolutely balling out with Derek Carr. But Derek Carr is out of this Raiders team. They put Stidham to end the year. I think it's very clear Derek Carr is not returning. And we don't know who Davante's quarterback's going to be. Could be an old veteran. They could draft a guy in maybe the draft. We have no idea for quarterbacks. If it's a bad option, maybe he moves out of the first. But with the unknown, he was so good last year, we're still taking him late first.
And lastly, last pick of the video, last pick of the first round, pick number 12, we got Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was still awesome last year, was the RB4 overall. He was still great, but injuries are becoming a little bit more of a concern. He missed, it was for sure the fantasy championship this year, which was very unfortunate if you had him in the finals. The year before, missed a few games with that ankle injury. Again, by the end of next season, I think he's going to be 30 years old, so he is getting up there in running back years, which is a little bit concerning and why we have him drop down a little bit. Still, when he's on the field, absolutely amazing, super dominant. It's just injuries do become more of a concern the older you get, so that's why you dropped him down to number 12.
And boys, thanks so much for watching. Yes, it is a bit early for these, but we just love talking fantasy football. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe because we're coming with videos all throughout the offseason to give you guys an edge next year in your fantasy leagues. Thanks boys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.